What's up, Roster Wars? So we have the Goat Gazette, the Terrible 12 recap. I'm doing something a little different for Chapter 6. I had mentioned how I'd wanted to change it up a little bit. I'm still trying to learn and figure out the system I want to do, and part of how I wanted to change it up was just go through the presentation with some talking, because I think that's easier to talk about than to go ahead and just put it all on the screen. You get more done. So this all started with John doing this the last couple of years, or even before. I don't know how long he's been doing it, with the recaps and the pick by pick analysis for the main league, and then it started down the minors this last year. So all this content that you have right now, it's all based off of what he's been doing. So we're all collaborated and happy to bring something to each different conference, each different division. John doing DD, myself doing the Terrible 12. You got Ross doing the RR, and Nathan doing the PP. And I think that pretty much everybody's wrapping it up right now with the draft recaps. And then you'll see I think Tyler's doing an article, I think it's like a guess who's going to pick who kind of thing. And then the pick by pick analysis will be by some different people. So some exciting stuff coming with rookies and draft content to Roster Wars, and happy to bring it. And sorry that this is a little late. Sorry, this thing itches. It's a little late. Super Bowl, Valentine's, some other shit happened. So sometimes life throws you a curveball. You just got to deal with it. Anyways, what we're here for, the Terrible 12 recap, Chapter 6. I try to give a little bit of background of how I graded, how my factors were. For me, like it says there, I didn't weigh 5th round, 6th round, 4th round picks. I mean, misses. It obviously weighed in your favor if you drafted like the Elijah Mitchells back, in the later half. And I took into effect what the players did this year, how comfortable I felt they were for next year or going forward for Dynasty, and trades or contracts that were given to them. So that kind of weighed back and forth on how I came out with my GOAT grade. And then obviously, like I said, with the 5th grade or 5th round ones not really counting too much, the ones that were drafted in the early picks, like the top 16 or so or whatever, that don't hit, that kind of weighed against people. It's all just, we're all just trying to come up with something just to give an opinion and analysis. So everybody's got an opinion, like everybody's got a butthole. So you take it or you don't, It is what it is. There's the grading system. You've already seen chapter 4 and 5, so you know how this is. I'm gonna tweak this again next year to try to make it a little better. What I felt like it came out with was a little generous on some of the grades, but it is. All right, chapter 6. So you got the Goon Squad, Justice, Gold Diggers, and the Oysters. You can see everything they had in between them. Eric had 7 picks. He still owns 5 of them. Bill had 8. He owns 7. Han Yang had 5. He still owns 3. And Ed owns all 6 of his that he drafted. So we'll go ahead and get in each team and what they did with what they had. So Easy E, he drafted Zach Wilson at 1-7. Devontae Smith 1-11. Jalen Phillips, Hunter Long, just a bunch of guys after that. Overall, he graded out as a 3.63 or an A. I felt like both the DEs had ability or potential, and obviously Devontae and Zach Wilson were his 2 studs he kind of took away, or 2 big names he kind of took away from this draft. And you'll see that he actually ended up trading away Devontae Smith. So I put his best pick was at 111 when he went with the Slim Reaper. And I actually think he may have gained value last year when he did it, because he traded Devontae Smith and Blake Martinez for pretty much just Bobby Wagner. So he may have gained value last year, but he lost overall. And Devontae Smith was not somebody that I really was targeted in rookie drafts. I was not comfortable with how skinny his legs are. I've seen Haji's dated dudes with thicker Adam's apples in this dude's legs. So, but I mean, this dude was a beast. He was the 6th best air yards. If he can get with a quarterback that can actually throw a ball, I think you guys know how I feel about Hurts. then he can be something. So I think that Easy had a good pick here, and he made a good trade for last year. But I think overall, long term, he's gonna wish he had that wide receiver back. The other trade that Easy made, I don't know if we need to talk about it. He traded a bunch of dudes and Gregory Rousseau, ham sandwich, for some picks. And it was because of that trade pretty much to help buoy him back up to a grade, because he probably would, GOAT grade would have been like a B plus for trading away Devontae. But he got some draft picks from Mark. So he grades out as a GOAT grade A on that one. Old Billy, his draft. Bill had pretty much 2 big picks and then a bunch of just nobodies. So for him, both his picks that he landed in the first top 10, they landed. They were good draft picks with Kyle Pitts and Javonte Williams. They graded out both as starter and or possible stars. He graded out with an A plus. Best pick for me, like it says there. I didn't draft Kyle Pitts anywhere. I had a lot of early picks in the draft for 2021, and I just couldn't do it. But you're gonna pay an arm and a leg if you want to get Pitts unless you drafted him. So the other big draft pick that Bill had was Javonte Williams. Drafted him at was it 10 or 11 overall, and this dude split time with Melvin Gordon, like pretty much. I'd have to go look at the split share, but I know it was like in the 50s or 60s, and he was 1 point away from being a top 12 running back. So. Good pick. Anytime you can get that in the late first round, and then he went around and flipped it for Stephon Diggs, which I'll take all day, every day. So he graded out as a A plus on the chart, and the GOAT grade I gave him was an A. I thought Bill did very well with what he had. Han Yang had 5 picks, pretty much a couple early. Actually, they're all pretty early, except for that one in the 4th. He drafted some players that I'm not really a fan of. Rashad Bateman, Zayvon Collins. I think Pat Fryguy is the one. You see he had a 3.38 B plus. Pat Fryguy was his best pick. He was the one that kind of saved his bacon here, in my opinion. Getting a tight end at 28 overall, it's a very good pick. Like I said, I'm not a Bateman believer. I'm not a Collins believer. And he spent good draft capital to get both of them. Top 16 picks. He ended up trading away Zayvon Collins for a 3rd in this year's draft, so he didn't really get much back in his return, especially when you hear everybody's talking about how this draft is weaker than the last year's draft. And but he did have a good trade with this dumbass Matt Goetz guy, and he got Micah Parsons and a 2nd next year. He had to trade away Michael Thomas, Mariota, and a dude that I wasn't high on going into the draft process, and Kadarius Toney. But he kind of grew on me. So it was because of that Parsons trade, he ended up grading out as a GOAT grade of a B. Eduardo, Mr. Wet Spot, his draft grade, he gave it at a 3.20 or a B. His big draft came around Trey Lance, which we all know we didn't really see much of. So like I said, we haven't really seen much what he can do yet. Hopefully we'll see in 2022, unless Tom Brady wants to come out of retirement and go play for the 49ers, and doubt that though. But just like Han Yang, I'm not a believer of what Ed did here with Davis or Nico Collins, and for where he got him in the return. Those aren't guys I have a lot of confidence in, and it's because of that that he got the draft grade he got. Heineke was a great pick late when he got him, but he put him on a 1 year. He's going to be an RFA, and who knows if he's even going to be a Washington starter. So Ed graded out with a B minus. So overall, what these guys all did for chapter 6. What they did for chapter 6 was Goon Squad got 3.63, draft grade at A, and a GOAT grade of an A. Justice got a 4.25. With a draft grade of an A plus and a GOAT grade of an A. Gold Diggers got 3.38, draft grade of a B plus and a GOAT grade of a B. And Ed and the Oysters got 3.20, draft grade of a B and a GOAT grade of a B minus. And that's where they fell out for this article. So next week, I'm going to do a final wrap up. We'll talk a little bit about all the different chapters and have another little surprises. But don't know if this format is going to be something that sticks, if something everybody likes, but hopefully it's something that everybody can enjoy. So you guys have a good night.